No. Not primarily.
Well, you start off, right?
No.
Okay.
Start off.
Okay, but you were heel sometime, right? Yeah. Okay. So my question is basically, what do you enjoy more, playing the good guy or playing the bad guy? Because a lot of movies that you make you kind of like the good guy.
Well, just material. Just good material. So, you know, whether that casts me as the antagonist or protagonist, either way is fine, as long as the material is good.
So it just has to do with the writing as well as the character.
Sure.
Who was your favorite action hero growing up?
It was a mix between Harrison Ford. I loved his stuff. His early stuff was great. Early Special Salon, the very first Rocky was great. I enjoyed that. Rocky 2. Very specifically, I think Harrison Ford at that time was great. And, you know, and I also love Clint Eastwood too, and all the Everett Whistles and stuff like that. Yeah. But you know, I was like you know, an action guy who's going to Jack comedy.
I was actually last one. I was going to touch on that too. You've got a great persona. You got good comedic timing. Is that just like something that's innate? Is that something that's part of your personality? If you work hard to try and develop that as well?
Well, I love comedy, and I think, you know, once you love comedy, you know, there's ways to develop, you know, and you can continue to work with great comedic actors, troops, stuff like that. You can travel, you know, you work on theater, comedy, so there's a lot of different avenues that you could go down. And, you know, there's nothing like laughing.
Yeah.
Guys, let's do this. Let's take it one at a time. Who wants to go next?
Tell us what you thought about the ride, and how long you worked on it. Eavesdropping, you said it was like making a movie.
Sure, yeah, and we treated it like that, and I thought that was important, especially while we were shooting it, to make sure that it had the feel and the texture of actually shooting a movie. I loved the ride. It was great. I had never seen any footage, nor had I ridden it in any of the soft openings that we've had or anything like that. It was the very first time I rode it with an audience. It was great.
What were the special effects like?
The special effects were awesome, sure, and I was surprised too. It exceeded my expectations with the special effects, the amount of water and the pyro, and you know, it's one thing when you read the script, but it's another thing when you see it come to life, like we did today.
Was it anything like when you see your other films come to life?
Well, that's. I think in the trailer, you know, it was great to see the trailer at the end, and especially, you know, the way we shot it was fairly over the top in terms of the acting to make it funny, and you know, the parts where the audience is interactive, really tremendous. It's great, and the experience. This is going to be the great thing about this ride is the experience, especially for people who are fans of movies. And the making of movies and how they're made, you know, between the movie jargon that's done on set, the fast pacing of making movies, they get to experience that.
Sorry, behind the scenes.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, sure.
Let's go next and look at the guy on your
Wayne with the.
Do I have to look directly?
I was looking. Wayne with the Worldcast News. How would you compare this? Have you been on the earthquake attraction?
I never know. No, it's never on there.
Out of all the movies,
but I can tell you, like I did, well, it beats Earthquake. No, I'm not kidding. No, but I heard that one was great. Right?
Yeah. Okay. And then, how old were you when you decided, hey, when I grow up, I'm going to be a celebrity, I'm going to be a star, a wrestler? When did you start getting that dream of doing this?
When I was, right when I started playing football. I just fell in love with the game of football when I was 14. And wrestling was far from my aspirations at the time. I just loved the game of football. And I was fortunate that I was able to play for 10 years. I started playing when I was 24, 25, and then when I got into wrestling, of course, you know, whatever you're passionate about, you know, but it was about 14. But very specifically with football.
And then one quick question, are you, I know you've ridden disaster, but are you a big fan of roller coasters?
I was. No, I was until some weird thing happened. I think with my chemistry and my body. Yeah, my equilibrium too. What's left of it. Yeah, you can't do roller coasters. Well, at least, you know, not the crazy ones. The hydraulics, the ones with hydraulics, and there's not a lot of roller coasters like that, but just rides with hydraulics kind of get me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Wait, Sarah Lockhart.
And you're obviously in great shape, but is there any special training you get to go through as well as actually shooting martial arts to get to
well, it's all hands on the roll, and at this point, it's fortunate because I got a great trainer that, you know, we do variety of different training and exercise and things like that. Plus, for me, it becomes a lifestyle and training for me to get out and train outside whenever the sun comes up. It's just a good way. It becomes my sanctuary. So it's a good way for me to get away from all the craziness. There's a lot of people around, and sometimes you're like, I just need to do something. So it's always worth it.
Sarah, follow up?
Oh, is there?
No pressure.
Sorry.
Everybody look at Sarah.
What was the first stunt you ever did? Besides
Oh yeah. First stunt I ever did was a movie shot with the Mummy Returns. We're in the desert in Morocco, and there were these big action sequences. And I'll never forget. I was with Universal too, by the way. I was really sick, and it was like 110 degrees, and I was freezing. Yeah, it was awful. That was the very first stunt that I was doing, and that was cool because the very first stunt for me on a movie set. Stephen Summers was new actor, awesome. Big movie in the middle of the desert, literally in the middle of the desert. These guys, these crazy stuff. It was a lot of fun.
have you actually written money?
No. I have to. We're going to.
Take care of it. And so I'd like to go next. Gentleman in stripes.
All right. First off, I would like to ask you. Obviously, you know that you have a lot of fans following you from the wrestling all the way to the movie. How does it feel to know that you're actually going to interact more with your fans due to the ride?
Wait, say that again?
How does it feel to know that all your fans are going to be able to interact more with you in the ride, being right up next to you in the action sequences?
Oh, it's great. It's great. You know, especially after looking at the footage back. You know, and here's the thing. You know, I got a really big head, so on screen it really comes across like, dude, look at that. But on this, because the screens are that big,
All right. Now, my other final question is. After you did The Mummy Returns, how thrilled were you to know that The Mummy became a big hit movie and you were able to go move on to The Scorpion King?
Great, that's a good question. We were shooting The Mummy Returns, and I was in Morocco, very sick.
Yeah.
And we get a phone call saying, hey, the executives at Universal love the footage, and they're thinking about making a movie based off your character, the Scorpion King. And I said, oh, it's fantastic. And he goes, yeah, they're watching dailies and they love it. And it was a long pause, and I was like, what the hell's a daily? And of course, it's like the daily footage.
Yeah.
But it was great. It was great. And that really launched me. So, you know, I consider Universal a fan.
Where will we go next? Sean.
All right, Rock, you're one of the best wrestlers of all
Yeah,
time.
man.
WrestleMania this year is in Orlando. There are going to be 80,000 screaming people there. Tell us a little bit what that's going to be like, that kind of atmosphere, that kind of
Well,
excitement.
that atmosphere is great. There's nothing like it. You know, there's nothing like a live audience. You know, and I've been in that position before, so I understand. You know, there's a lot of prep that's going to go into that night, and those guys are going to be really excited. As well they should be, but you know, there's nothing like interacting with a live audience, and I always say that, and that's the one thing that I don't get on the movie set. There's nothing like nailing a scene and having it great and having people laugh. There's nothing like a live audience. So, you know, those guys, the great thing about that, I talk to a lot of guys, and you should always appreciate that type of interaction.
Let's do 2 more questions.
Is your daughter excited just to
Yeah,
ride the ride?
yeah, she was great. Yeah.
She was here today.
Yeah, she was here with me, and I was riding it with her, and you know, and she was 6. She was a champ. I just had to tell her, you know, because she's been to all my movies before on the set. So she's like, movie set, and she loved it.
Let's go there.
Was there any particular reason that Universal wanted you to star in this ride?
I don't know. You know, I know there's some other guys, you know, out there who could have done it, who I'm sure have good relationships too with Universal. A lot of action guys out there. Maybe I'm not too sure. Maybe there's a relationship that I have with them, and you know, the chairman Ron Meyer, I've known now for years. He's great. So I don't know. I'm fortunate though. I'm glad I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a good thing. Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be patient. Can you give us, last question back there.
One last question. I know it's the most important thing. You've answered everything else I had. Finally, what actually is The Rock cooking?
Oh, well, today it will be a Chilean sea bass with mango sauce with peanut butter on top of sushi.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.